Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 6.
Went out there and she said, my house is gone, my house is gone.
A fire and an explosion levels an eastern Kentucky home, and a man says his grandparents barely escaped it.
Be careful if you leave your car running to warm it up in cold weather. Police say you may be the target for thieves.
Some state employees are fuming over a new tobacco ban that's about to go into effect.
And how you can help a high school softball team get back in the game after a devastating fire. WKYT News at 6 starts now. Good evening to you. Family members tell us it was a very close call. An elderly couple escaped their eastern Kentucky home, which caught fire and then exploded.
The fire started this morning on K. Patton Branch in Magoffin County. Investigators think an oxygen tank in the home caused the explosion. Sam Smith talked to the couple's grandson. It's our top story at 6.
It's a morning that will be hard to forget.
I was laying in the bed and just completely asleep. And I heard an explosion and feel a little vibration.
Jordan Perkins lives next door to his grandparents. He says they're lucky to be alive.
Then I hear my mama hollering. I said, Mama's hollering. Run to see what she's hollering about. Went out there and she said, my house is gone, my house is gone. And then I come out here and as I was getting ready to come down this way, I heard another big explosion and it was oxygen tanks.
The home was leveled. Thankfully, they were able to escape unharmed. The home caught fire. Officials say the fire may have started because of a space heater. That fire ignited an oxygen tank, which led to the explosion after the couple made it to safety. I'm told the couple did not have homeowners insurance, so the grandson will set up donation bins throughout town for anyone that wants to help out.
I don't know about Pavel. He's got dementia and Alzheimer's. It's going to be hard on him. Mama, she's to herself a lot better than what he is. Maybe she can keep him occupied and keep his mind off of it.
The couple will stay with family or in one of the other buildings they own following this fire and explosion. In Magoffin County, Sam Smith, WKYT.
Firefighters are still investigating what caused the fire. The couple was taken to the hospital as a precaution.
Temperatures finally rose above freezing today after a stretch of very cold weather, but that isn't lasting very long. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey is tracking yet another Arctic front headed our way.
Yes, we are. That arrives later on this evening and especially late tonight. But in the short term, we're showing you a temperature map of comparing where we are now to 24 hours ago, and it's just crazy. We're 20 degrees warmer or better than we were at this same point yesterday. Now, that doesn't mean temperatures are warm. It means yesterday was just crazy cold. Low 40s as of now. 42 into Lexington. Yesterday at this time we were at 20 degrees, dropping quickly into the teens. We're going to see those thermometers drop right now with gusty winds settling in again this evening. Those wind chills are going to make it feel colder than what we're talking about with your thermometer. But as Amber mentioned, an Arctic front is on our doorstep. That slams in here a little later this evening into the overnight. Falling temperatures. Something else may be falling. A couple of snowflakes, if not a little band of some light snow along that boundary into the wee hours of tomorrow morning. So an overnight light snow chance, nothing like what we had a few days ago. Then I'm tracking, believe it or not, something that isn't snow. A little rain for the weekend. Cold changes, though, show up in that 7-day forecast. It's a wild temperature ride that I'll share with you here in about 10 minutes.
All right, Chris, thank you. A plea for help has been answered. Last night at 11, we told you how the Salvation Army in Lexington had an urgent need for winter clothing donations. Volunteers say they were nearly out of coats and gloves, but today many people have been showing up at the Salvation Army with donations. While those will go a long way, the Salvation Army doesn't expect them to last long.
We expect that we'll see at least 50, maybe more people a day coming in for these items, so we need a large supply. So what might look like a mountain of donations today actually might only be able to stretch a few days.
If you have winter clothing items that you would like to donate, you can take them to the Salvation Army's drop-off center on West Main Street.
Breathitt County students will go back to class tomorrow after being out 2 days for a heating problem. Breathitt County High School has not had heat since late last week while workers replaced some boilers. The school tried to use space heaters on Monday, but that didn't work. So all Breathitt County schools were closed yesterday and today. School leaders told us the heating system at the high school was turned on this afternoon and it's now working. So again, there will be school in Breathitt County tomorrow. We have an alert for drivers tonight. Thieves are using cold weather as a way to take advantage of you.
Someone stole a Nicholasville family's car from their driveway. Police say the family had left that car running to warm it up. Rebecca Smith is tracking the investigation tonight.
Here on Cypress Street in Nicholasville is where this car theft occurred. One neighbor tells us really the only thing that he says is a problem here are people driving too fast down the street when there are kids around. Lewis Kennedy's lived here for 13 years and has never really seen too much crime to speak of.
You know, we do have a few crazy things that happen, but not this severe. Stealing somebody's vehicle.
Nicholasville police are looking for whoever stole a 2000 blue Dodge Neon with chipping paint. The victim, who has the flu along with his daughter, said he was taking her to the hospital Tuesday night when someone stole their car right out from under their nose. They'd started it up to get the heater going. That's how they think the person got access.
Well, I mean, unless your car's locked, and if it is running like it is, it just makes it so much easier for somebody who's walking up the street just to open up your car and get in it and drive off.
From now on, neighbors like Kennedy are going to be a little more vigilant.
My wife, she's one that makes sure before I go to bed, they make sure the windows locked, doors, you know, and that's what a man's supposed to do in his household to protect his family anyway.
In Nicholasville, Rebecca Smith, WKYT.
Police also point out that idling a car is illegal. They say insurance may not cover the theft of a vehicle if the owner left it to warm it up. Police say you can buy remote starter kits to help keep your car from being stolen.
We have some pretty dramatic pictures to show you. If you have a fireplace, firefighters want you to be more careful about how you get rid of the ashes. In the last 16 months, Lexington firefighters say 5 house fires have been sparked by people not getting rid of ashes or embers properly. You're looking at some of the pictures from these fires. In each case, firefighters say ashes from fireplaces, grills, or cigarettes were placed in the plastic trash containers. Firefighters say use metal containers with lids to store ashes or embers and keep those containers away from your house. An assault suspect who police say escaped house arrest in Laurel County is back in Kentucky tonight. Only WKYT was there as Terry Mullins arrived at the Laurel County Jail this afternoon. Back in September, police say Mullins hit 17-year-old R.J. Warren with his van but didn't stop. Warren was critically injured. Police charged Mullins with assault and DUI, but they say he ran off from house arrest last month. Police later arrested him in Ohio. And we've learned how police tracked him down there, and that'll be new tonight on WKYT at 11.
Tomorrow, a new tobacco ban will go into effect for thousands of state-owned buildings, and this one even covers parking lots, sidewalks, and government-owned vehicles. The governor's office hopes the ban will keep people healthy, but as Victor Puente tells us, some state employees aren't happy.
The new signs plastered on the doors of the State Transportation Cabinet building signal a change. Many of them are just feet from areas that were previously designated for smoking. But an executive order that goes into effect tomorrow will do away with those. It makes all executive campuses tobacco-free. That's around 3,000 buildings. A woman visiting Frankfort Wednesday afternoon told me she didn't approve of the way the change was made.
I'm not happy about any executive order, you know, and then that's just from the county government all the way to Washington.
The governor's office has said 5,000 executive branch workers identified as smokers. Now they'll have to go off government property if they want to smoke, chew, dip, or use e-cigarettes. One of those workers told me she felt like the move was unfair.
I think it's ridiculous. I think they should do it across the board or not at all. You know, if some buildings can smoke, we should all be able to smoke. If our legislators can sit in their office and smoke.
She's referring to the fact that in some parts of the Capitol Annex, smoking is still allowed. That's because the Annex is a legislative building, has its own set of rules. Judicial campuses also have their own ban. Serber told me she understood they would want limits, but had hoped she would still be able to smoke near where she worked.
We have a perfectly good courtyard back there that the public doesn't see, the employees don't use. They could have put us back there.
The announcement of the change was made months ago. The governor's office has said they hope the ban will encourage smokers who work for the state to give up the habit. In Frankfort, Victor Puente, WKYT.
There will be some exceptions to the ban, including state parks, rest stops, and the Kentucky Horse Park.
Kentucky's gas tax will be dropping in the new year, and while it's good news for drivers, the state transportation cabinet has some concerns. The tax on gas sales will fall by more than 4 cents per gallon on New Year's Day. The drop is tied to a decrease in the average wholesale price of gas, but transportation leaders say the lower tax rate will mean less money for road and bridge projects. They think the state road fund will end up losing $129 million because of the lower tax.
It was a huge loss for the Bryan Station High School softball team. The fire at their field destroyed thousands of dollars worth of equipment. Now the team needs your help getting everything they need before the next season. New at 6, Jordan Valines talks to the team's coach.
The press box attached to Bryan Station High School's softball field housed more than just the team's equipment. It was also home to years worth of memorabilia.
Every single uniform from the past history, every uniform.
Showcasing the achievements of players who have come and gone. And now those physical achievements,
they lost all that,
are gone as well.
All the pictures, banners, trophies up there.
On Monday, a fire ripped through the press box, destroying thousands of dollars worth of equipment.
To try to replace all the uniforms, it's going to cost around almost $10,000 just for the uniforms.
And also destroying items that have no price tag.
What's heartbreaking is all the memories went up in flames. So that's the hard thing, to just watch it and go up in flames and all the memories. Like I said, when I first got there and I saw it, I broke down in tears.
But now Coach Hicks is focused on the team's future, and she believes the best way to move forward is by holding fundraisers to raise the $25,000 needed to replace what was lost.
Everybody's going to come together for this. It is a realistic ballpark that we can raise.
In Lexington, Jordan Valines, WKYT.
You can find more information on how to donate to the softball team. Just go to our website, WKYT.com.
A well-known building in downtown Lexington will be receiving a makeover. Coming up, what's changing at the federal courthouse.
And then another sign of the season as a special delivery arrives in downtown Lexington.